Hi everyone, it's Tanya with Queen of Hearts Hemp Health. I'm coming to you from our Hood River store in beautiful Northern Oregon. And today we are going to make hemp milk. On Black Friday we launched our holiday hemp milk kit. It's a 100% Oregon producer kit, which includes a number of wonderful items that I'm going to introduce you to. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, we have your 16-ounce hemp milk bottle. It comes with an ounce and a half of hemp hearts. That is enough for a 16-ounce batch. We've got 2 pinches of sea salt. This is Oregon harvested from Jacobsen Salt Co in Hearts Bay, Oregon. And then we have a second batch of hemp hearts for you. So this is for your second batch of hemp milk. And then from GloryBee Foods, we have their HoneyStix. You get 4 HoneyStix with your hemp milk kit. And then lastly, you get an 8x12 organic cotton nut milk bag. Now this one looks pretty used because it is very used. It's mine. I've used it about a dozen times and it wears really well and it's just fantastic. So I'm reusing my bag here. And then lastly, you're gonna have some water. Really simple. This is a very easy recipe. So I went ahead and grabbed some water. You can actually just fill this directly from the tap. I don't use any fancy water. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, you're gonna take your hemp milk bottle and just dump those hemp hearts right into the blender. Now sometimes you'll get some hearts that will remain or stick to the bottom of the bottle. We don't have very many, but if that happens, go ahead and pour your water directly into that bottle. And you're just gonna swirl them around like so. Pour that into your blender. Do that a couple times if it sticks, if you have a lot of sticky hemp hearts, because hemp hearts are an oil seed, so that oil likes to stick to whatever container it is in. So I actually already measured out 16 ounces of water, but if you want, you can also measure 16 ounces of water in the bottle, right up to the shoulder. And then also, what's wonderful about blenders is they also have measuring lines on them. So this one has a 12 ounce and a 12 ounce, 24 and 32 ounce. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the water directly in here. I'm gonna add my sea salt, just a pinch. And this is also where you could add in honey. I'm actually not going to add in honey right now. We're just going to go with the basic recipe, which is unsweetened. And then that's really it to start. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy started. So I like to blend hemp milk for about a minute on high. And then if you have an ice crush or an extra boost setting, I like to blast on that setting for about 10 seconds as well. So we're going to go for a full minute with this one. Okay, so we're just at about a minute. I'm going to turn that off, so I went 1 minute. And then there's the ice crush. We're just gonna turn that on just for a quick 5 seconds, 5-10 seconds. So you usually don't have to stop the blender to do this. Okay, so that's pretty much it. At this point, your hemp milk is ready to drink. So there's a couple different things that you can do right now. You can drink it, you can put it in your fridge, which I highly recommend because hemp milk is best cold. You can strain it. Now, there's a few different ideas on straining. If you are feeding your hemp milk to a baby or a toddler, I would definitely recommend straining the milk. It is smooth, it's creamy, you don't get any of that, any chunkiness or thickness at all. Now, if you're just using it for maybe lattes or adding it to a smoothie, you don't need to strain it. And actually it retains all the wonderful nutrients that you're getting from all of the hemp hearts that you put in there. So to strain or not to strain, what I would recommend is try it out, see how it goes. We are going to strain it today, so I'm going to show you how I strain it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pour this directly back into the bottle. that your hemp hearts came in. And also, when you add your sweetness, we've got HoneyStix here. We love honey, but you can also use maple syrup. You could use organic dates. We use organic dates for our market milk, and it's just absolutely wonderful. And you can either add them before or after straining. It really, if you are straining, I would probably add the sweetness before straining. But if you're not going to strain, obviously, you know, throw them all in together all at once. Throw everything in there. Okay, so you can see our little wonderful bottle of hemp milk. You can see that when you foam it and froth it up in the blender, it takes up much more space in that bottle. So you might have a little bit of extra in the bottom of the blender. I usually have a little side cup that I'll just pour it in and then drink it. So we're gonna do when we strain this. This is my little trick that I learned because I kind of got a little lazy with the hemp milk bag. I was just tired of holding it, and I wanted to be productive and multitask because that's kind of how I do things. So what I did is I learned a way where you can walk away from the nut milk bag and not tend to it. It's wonderful. All right, so put this up here. I don't really need to, but just for viewing purposes. We're gonna take our hemp milk, and we're just gonna pour it right into that bag in the blender, okay? Just like so. And then what you're gonna do is you can see that milk is already starting to strain out of that bag, which is fantastic. But toward the bottom of it, it starts to take a little bit of time. So what we want to do is we want to roll that milk bag down about 3 times. At this point, you could manually just strain that, and you're straining by pushing the top down 1 stroke at a time and kind of pushing at the very bottom so that milk is coming out the bottom of the bag. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, which, like I said, I kind of learned recently, again, you're going to roll that bag down and you're just going to drape it over the side of the blender like so. Just make sure that there's enough room down at the bottom, in between the bottom of the bag and the milk, that there's more room for the milk to drain into. We're going to put the lid right back on. Doesn't have to go all the way. Hands free, just leave it. So I'll leave it for like 15-20 minutes and come back to it. And then all of your milk has strained through. It's just wonderful. That's the lazy woman's way of straining hemp milk. So you can do that, or you can do it how we're gonna do it, which is gonna be manually today. But I do recommend, if you have the time to walk away, that's how you do it. All right, so let's strain this. Oh, I gotta roll my bag down again. That's another reason also that we include bigger bags, is it's really nice to have that extra height to roll down the bag so that milk doesn't come up through the top. Okay. Almost there. There's something really, I don't know, rewarding about making hemp milk. It really is easy. Yeah, you might get a little wet, a little messy, but it's just so wonderful. Boy, it tastes great. I make it in hemp lattes every morning, and it just has a really creamy, nutty flavor that you don't get with other milks. So hemp milk has no sugar, and it has a wonderful protein content. I think our protein right now on the milk is about 8 grams. So you lose maybe just like a gram or so that you normally would get. 8 to 10 grams, I think, per serving, which is in about a cup. All right, so I have squeezed out about as much milk as I can. And you'll see that you will get this seed sediment, the bottom of the bag. Don't throw that away. That is just packed with goodness. What I would do is I put it in a Ziploc bag, save it for a smoothie, or freeze it for a smoothie. Just don't throw that away. It's just really good stuff in there. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside. And this is just so easy, people. There's your milk. Pour this back in the bottle. Also, if you aren't able to get all those hemp hearts from the bottom of the bottle, you're just going to end up drinking them in your hemp milk. So it's not bad, it's great. Hemp hearts are great. All right, so now we're at back to our 16 ounces. We lose a little bit of volume when you strain the nut milk, but you can see we get a perfect 16 ounces there. Put that lid back on, give it a shake. There you go. So what I recommend, put this in the fridge. It tastes so good cold. It's just fantastic cold. And then you'll see it might separate when you leave it in the fridge for a few hours or overnight. You might see that the water and the oily seeds separate. Just give it a shake. Sometimes people freak out. That's the nature when you mix oil and water, and you've got water and a very oily seed, it's going to separate. So there you go. You've got your hemp milk. And also that comes with the Hemp Milk Kit is this wonderful recipe card. Has some tips on there. And also I have put my favorite recipe of all, which is our chocolate hemp milk. Oh my gosh, I highly recommend making chocolate hemp milk. If you have kids that love chocolate milk, but you don't want to fill them with extra fat and dairy, this chocolate milk recipe is fantastic. So try that. And there's a few other little tidbits of information and where you can go buy more, which is queenofheartshemp.com. All right, thanks for watching and have a wonderful time making your hemp milk.